Welcome to Elite Fish Cage. We have taken some good time without getting back to you on our page, but now we are back. We had some challenges with our networks and our machines that we use. Basically, today we wanted to discuss about the cages. How do we start the business? How profitable is the business? What procedures we go through when you're going to start the fish cage business? This business fine is profitable, but it needs some knowledge. It is not that you just come and you start on the business. Right. This is whereby we shall build cages on the lake. But which types of lakes do we build on our cages? We have various lakes in Uganda. That is the only biggest opportunity we have. But more so we make use of Lake Victoria. Lakes like Katwe, those salty lakes, we don't use them basically for tilapia, because tilapia, catfish are the profitable fishes in Uganda here right now. But I would highly recommend people to basically deal in tilapia because it is profitable. Fish caging business, before you venture into it, you have to know what you're supposed to have. You're not going to just go onto the lake and you start up your own business there without having the license. Before anything else, first have the license in the business. How do you come up with this license? For you to say that you have the license, what procedures do you go through? What steps do you go through? First and foremost, the major thing that you must know is you have to get a risk assessment report. This risk assessment report, it's a report you can get from NAFIRI. Those people from NAFIRI can help you through your district fisheries officer. You can go through NAFIRI depending on the district. NAFIRI is in Jinja. When you go through NAFIRI, they get for you a risk assessment report. Which risk assessment report you are supposed to take it to the Ministry of Fisheries, and they will give you some money you pay into the bank, and then they give you a license. Here in Uganda, basically that can consume about 3 million. The license costs cannot exceed more than 700,000, but the issue is for you to complete all those processes, it will take you about 3 million. Because you have to buy a lot of things. You have Sorinon to buy, but you have to facilitate a lot of things for everything to go on. Because also these officials of NAFIRI to come onto your site, they will need you to pay some little money for their transportation costs, for other things, as you know, Uganda. But what I know is the process of the license will take you about 3 million. Because when you're getting that license, it will be having coordinates. They will give you various coordinates on the lake, okay? Your area on the lake that you're supposed to do your farming from. You're not going to just get onto the lake because you have a license and you conduct your business from there. That lake will have coordinates. It will be well gazetted that you pass here from this point to this point to this point to this point. So you find that you have a specific place on your lake. Secondly, we have to know the depth of the lake. Fine, you have gotten those coordinates of that area, but which specific area are you going to put in your cages? How? This lake has a different pH. Different areas have different pH. Secondly, different areas have different depths. If you're going to put, let me say, your cage is 6 by 6 by 6, maybe when you're using a square cage, when it's going to be 6 by 6 by 6 down, we need a place that is a depth of more than 12 meters, right? For easy water movement and circulation. We cannot use a place that is 9 meters deep and we put a cage of 6 meters deep. No, we cannot do that. So we have to first know what depth do you wish. Because at least I would recommend someone to use a net of a depth of 6 meters. For what reason? And for higher profitability, because these cages are low volume density, high volume density cages, whereby we stock per cubic meter. So for you to get higher profits and to stock heavily into one cage, the more depth the more fish we stock, because we stock per cubic meter. So after us getting the place where we are going to put the cage, there we shall install the cages into water. After construction of the cages on land, we put them onto water. It will be another lesson for us for showing how we construct a cage. I think that we shall be on a site, show you how we construct a cage and put it into water. So after us installing the cage into the water, now you have to look at the thing of feeds. What feeds are you going to use? Because before we start on the feeds being used, or before we put the fish into the water, or before we stock fish into the water, we should make sure that the feed going to feed that fish for the 8 months they are going to be in water, it is already in stock, because we don't want to run out of feeds at any time T when the fish is in water, because it will have to feed every day, morning and evening. Only it will not feed on days whereby there will need be, and we shall teach you that. Which days can we feed the fish, which days can't we feed the fish, depending on the weather changes. So the food to be used in those cages must be already there, for us not to run out of the feeds. Let me basically talk about these feeds. Which feeds do you basically use? We have feeds that are imported and we have feeds that are made from here. The only challenge with some feeds may be, some challenge with some feeds, they don't have the proteinous content, the nutrient content, because we use feed pellets. But the nutritious content into the feeds matters a lot, because every food you buy, it is costly. We do a food FCR, food conversion ratio, whereby we want that for you to make profits, the feeds you use matter a lot to the weight of the fish that we are going to raise or to get after 8 months, because we want at least the feed conversion ratio to be 1:1. For you to raise a 1 kilogram fish, you must have fed it 1 kilogram feeds. So since we start selling our fish at 500 grams, it must have consumed a half a kilogram for you to sell it on market. So if the feeds are not good enough, you will not be able to raise the necessary table size of fish for a period of 8 months. In a period of 8 months, you will not have raised the table size of fish. So we look at such areas, but I'm not ready to talk about which type of feed is good, which type of feed is bad, because I cannot air it out on air. But you can basically call me on my phone number down there, and you call me, I advise you on what feeds you can use for you to basically get out of your fish. Because feeds, fine, you may opt for cheap feeds because they are made, but in actual sense, you are not going to get the exact profit you would wish to. Or you will find yourself rearing fish for about a period of about a year, but you have not yet even raised 500 kilograms, but the fish is still eating every day, every day, every day. Anyway, thank you very much. We shall meet in our next video. Time to come. Call me. We are Elite Fish Caging Company based in Uganda. Thank you very much. See you next time.